Today we are going to be going over what I eat in a day to have lost 65 pounds on Trim Healthy Mama. So today I'm actually doing a recipe tonight for dinner, which I kind of put together myself. I just thought it sounded really good. I've had a craving for like a bacon burger. So I found a way to do this really low carb and really low calorie. Well, first of all, I want to share with you what I had for breakfast. I had some Oikos yogurt. I had the protein yogurt and it was really delicious. I had that with 2 cups of coffee. I had my Nespresso coffee, and with that I put in about 2 tablespoons of half and half in each of those and some monk fruit sweetener. Now I'm gonna have some kind of a snack, lunch, light lunch this afternoon, but for dinner, what I'm planning on making is a bacon burger in kind of a keto hot dog bun. So it's gonna be kind of a bacon hot dog burger thing. So I've got some ground beef. This is the 93% lean ground beef. It's only got 7% fat in it. So I'm gonna thaw this out. I've also got some Natural Choice original uncured bacon. I'm gonna be using some of that. And then I found these Nature's Own keto, they're hot dog buns, but I'm gonna use this as my hamburger bun. And as you can see on the front of it, it's only 1 net carb. These are 16 carbs with 15 grams of fiber. So this fits right into my program. When I went ahead and calculated it on the nutritional calculator, it was only 2 carbs, 1 net carb and 1 carb. And then I had 14 grams of fat, 27 grams of protein, and 250 calories. So this fits perfectly into an S meal. So I'll show you how we're gonna make that for dinner. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and serve this with some sweet potato fries. So it's gonna be a really delicious day. I'm not sure what kind of a snack I'm gonna have later this evening, but I'll show that to you just as soon as I put it together. So I hope this episode is fun for you if you're trying to figure out how to lose weight or what kind of a program to go on, or you're just following my journey. I've been on this journey now for a little over a year. I've lost 65 pounds. I've recently implemented some personal training and some exercise into my program. And so I feel like I'm really making some big strides. I have about 50 pounds more to go as far as the additional weight loss. I'd like to try to do that without any different kinds of shots or medications, and we're just going to see how it goes. I'm going to give myself another year to get my additional weight off and get down to my healthy weight. And if it's something you're looking into doing, I've got several videos that I've done on the Trim Healthy Mama program and also on the Trim Healthy Mama recipes. So it may give you some ideas of things you like. So we're gonna do something really like a hamburgery type of dinner tonight. It just sounds great. I'm gonna grill it. So please join me and I'll see you at the next meal. So I've kind of exhausted my food choices this morning, but I did make some chai tea. I've had that brewing for a little while. I added a green tea to it, and I'm gonna have myself a nice cup of hot tea. I'm gonna pass on another cup of coffee just because I'm out of half and half. Sometimes I have 3 cups in the morning. It really just depends. This sounded really good. I'm gonna put a little bit of monk fruit sweetener in it. And I don't usually add milk to my tea. I'm just gonna drink this as is. So this is just some chai tea with some monk fruit sweetener and some green tea added to it. I've got a couple sweet potatoes here. I'm just gonna peel them and then we'll give them a good wash. Now, if you prefer to leave your sweet potatoes, peeled and cook them with the peelings on, you're welcome to do that. I kind of like the sweet potato fries without the peelings, but it's just a personal preference. So you cut your sweet potatoes as thin or as thick as you like. I usually cut mine about, I'd say probably medium. I realize with these being such large sweet potatoes, I'm not going to use all these sweet potatoes. I'm actually going to freeze some of them. So all I'm going to do to this is add a little touch of olive oil, not very much. I just want to be able to mix these up together. And I'm going to add a little bit of this macho nacho seasoning. Now I made this from the cookbook from Trim Healthy Mama, and this stuff is so tasty and flavorful. I love it. I made it on some chicken last week, and boy was it ever good. So I'm just going to cover some of these sweet potatoes in this just to give it a little bit more flavor. Now, because these are going to make kind of a mess, I'm actually going to cut some of these and just put some of these liners that I put in my normal air fryer just throughout this. Just put a couple down. And just try to space these out so they're all getting a little bit of air. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in my oven under air fry, and I'll bring you back as soon as they're done. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cooking up all of this bacon. Now we're not going to use it all, but one of the things that I do, I don't really like cooking bacon like every time you have a couple pieces of bacon. So I usually cook up the whole container of bacon, and then I freeze in a Ziploc bag whatever it is that I don't use for that day. So it seems to work really well for me. I like to do this because I have bacon whenever I need it. If I just need a piece for a salad, or if I'm making some kind of a sandwich, I've got some bacon already made, and really all you have to do is just heat it up for 30 seconds in the microwave, and it's just like the day that you cooked it. So while this bacon cooks, I'm going to move it out of our way, and I'm going to start getting these ground beef hot dog things ready. So I'm going to make them the shape of a hot dog bun because those are the buns that I have. I got those keto buns when I was at the Western Eagle last week. And that's that warehouse that I save all that money at. I'm going to make one for myself, and my husband asked for 2 of these tonight. I'm going to make him 2, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to cook all this ground beef up together, and then I'm going to put the 2 pieces that are left in the freezer, and that way when it's time to have a nice salad, maybe a hamburger salad or something like that, we'll have some ground beef that we can put on it. Now the next thing that I want to do is season my ground beef before I put it out on the grill. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, and I've got some of this Grill Mate seasoning. I'm going to add some of that. All right, we'll just set those aside and continue cooking our bacon. So I love cooking bacon on a griddle, and the main reason is because I just kind of tip my griddle. I don't even have to tip it a lot, but all that grease goes down into kind of like a little grease tray. And it keeps a lot of this from popping at you, and you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. So my husband and I actually just got back from the movie theater. We went to a Saturday matinee, and we saw Downton Abbey, the grand finale. I don't know if anybody ever watches that, but boy, that was such a good movie. A finale to the whole series. If you want to watch a good show and you've never seen Downton Abbey, you really should tune into it. It is just a wonderful show. And so I ended up, since I'm doing what I eat in a day, I thought I'd let you know I did have a Cosmic Crisp apple before I left the house, and an iced tea, and I put monk fruit sweetener in that. And then when I got to the theater, I split it ended up being, it said it was a large popcorn, but it wasn't the bucket, it was the next size down. I split that with my husband, and then we split a Diet Pepsi. So that's what I've pretty much eaten today. So while I'm waiting for the grill to heat up, I'm gonna grill these outside. I'm gonna get my vegetables ready to put on our ham dogs. I'm gonna call them ham dogs. That sounds kind of good. Or hot burgers. One of the two. All right. I've got a couple tomatoes. I'm gonna cut those up. And then lastly, I'm gonna put a little bit of lettuce. I'm gonna wash some heads of lettuce or some pieces of romaine lettuce here. And then put those on my tray as well. And there you go. There's our veggie tray to go with our meal. So I've decided to go ahead and add the cheese. It actually added very little fat and carbs to this. That's what I'm gonna do. There you go. I might give a piece of this cheese to my dog. Lucy, come here. You want a piece of cheese? A piece of cheese? Come here, girl. She's an old dog. Better get over here. Never too old for a piece of cheese. All you get, just one piece. These are very little fat. I think it's 93%, 7% fat in these burgers, so there just isn't, usually you're seeing a bunch of fire at this point. All right, it's time to start putting our hot burgers together, or burg dogs, whatever you want to call them. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, these are our Nature's Own keto hot dog buns. Well, these are hot dog buns, but I'm sure they make hamburger buns as well as these. But I was able to get these as part of my box last week. So these were a pretty good deal. And they're nice and soft, and I think they're gonna make a great dinner. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add our hamburger to it, just like this. And I'm gonna give my husband 2 of them, because he's always hungry, just like that. I'll let him figure out what he wants to put on his. But I'm gonna go ahead and fix mine up. I'm gonna put a piece of lettuce, I think, under the hamburger, just like this. I'll put some tomatoes over it and some onions, because life is not life without onions. I don't know, I must have got that from my mom. I love onions and I love mustard. Those are 2 of my absolute favorite things to put on anything. Ooh. There we go. I am gonna put a little bit of ketchup on my plate, just because I did make some sweet potato fries, and I'll show you those. All right. We're gonna put some of these sweet potato fries on each of these. So this is my ham dog. Look at that, looks funny. But I think it's gonna be good. It's got bacon, ground beef, it's got a little bit of cheese on it. I've air fried some sweet potato fries, and then I put together a few berries with just a little monk fruit sweetener on it to spruce them up and make them perfect. We're gonna give our ham dog a try. I'm gonna try anyway. Mmm. 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 Just what I was looking for. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Check out some of my Trim Healthy Mama meals. I think you'll really enjoy them. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.